People, what does it take? We've been misinformed, misled, blatantly lied to. We've been forced to disapprove of our current leader, so we will take whatever leader they propose to us next. Then, as you'll see from the video link below this message, this outcry for the 99% to stand up, that once again, the government will stop at nothing to get what they want. We do not endorse any candidate. What we do endorse is to have America, once again, like our forefathers wanted, what they fought for, what they died for, given back to the people to let us, the people, decide what is best for us. We are done letting the government decide what is best for us. People, do you think you live in a free country with a free government? You don't. You no longer have the right to say what you feel. You no longer have the right to eat what you want. You no longer have the right to live as you wish, to worship as you wish, to vote as you wish. One by one, our freedoms, our God-given rights, are being taken away from us under the guise of protection. How many more rights and freedoms must our government protect us from before we all see the truth, before it becomes too late to act? I plead to you, as one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, please watch this video, leave your comments, and share. We must get the word out there. There are people who want to wake up. They need to wake up, but are afraid. Afraid of what others will think. Afraid of what their government will do in retaliation. We need to show them that they are not alone. They have support. They are a part of the 99%. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forget. We do not forgive. End transmission.
Here's my question then. When you say that people make up their mind that night, what I have heard from some people, longtime Iowans, they tell me that in many of these districts, especially the key swing districts, the district chairman and sort of the party apparatus in these districts hold a lot of sway, and they're sitting on sort of a cachet of caucusers who will move the way they are suggested to move once the district chairman gets a sense of where the room is going. Is that your experience as well?
Absolutely. And that's why folks can't predict these things, because, it is very local, and these, they have that bit of, the party still matters in Iowa. In some states, maybe not as much, but in Iowa, it really does. I mean, and if this is like, hey, buddy, I need your help here with this candidate. He's going to do this for agriculture. He's going to do that for business. Yeah. I need you. I need your vote. Well, you know what? That's his buddy, Ted, and he may go ahead and go with Ted because it helps Ted in his position, and then Ted can help him get the goodies later. I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, it's a very local game, and it's not the way it is with everyone.
Well,
yeah,
that's politics, sure.
Happen.
So let's speculate a little bit here, because I've sensed from some of the party apparatus in Iowa that there's some grave concern about Ron Paul showing very well in the caucuses here, because there's concern, frankly, that Iowa will caucus itself into oblivion, and the party will say, listen, if Ron Paul is what Iowa picks for us, or gives Ron Paul this kind of prominence, maybe Iowa shouldn't be first in the nation for our party next time around. And we know that the Iowa caucuses are important to this state and to the economy. Is it possible that the party apparatus here could be silently asking those district chairmen to start swaying some important caucus members over to the anti-Paul side, which may end up being Santorum being the beneficiary of that? Is that, and again, we're just speculating, but do you see a scenario like that happening?
No, I'm not speculating. I've talked to the party officials. I know they were concerned about it because, that takes away their significance. In Iowa, they want to keep number one in the nation. And then if you, nominate someone who doesn't have a snowball's chance, that's not good for them, and they know that. So now they're like, all right, you know what, let's cut the and let's get to the real issue here. Our relevance is important. The country's relevance is important. Ron Paul doesn't do us any good in Iowa, doesn't do the country any good. We'll never get there, so let's figure out what we need to do. So, yeah, those conversations I know for a fact are going on. So, yeah, you are very right and astute to realize that.
Where do you think, from a practical point of view, where do you think Republican establishment types would direct those votes to go? Would it be to a Rick Santorum, or would it be more to an establishment figure like a Mitt Romney?
You know what, Steve, I just think it's a huge struggle right now because I've talked to both types. They're like, you know, we think Romney, you know, we want Iowa to pick the winner and we think Romney would be the winner. But it's like, oh, but Santorum's worked so hard and he came to my church and he came to my diner and I really like him and we think he represents Iowa. So there's a real split there. So they're concerned about the Ron Paul thing because if they split that, Ron Paul could be number one, and they really, really don't want Ron Paul to win. There's a huge concern with that because his folks are like, you know, the kids at the schools, you know, they're just got this protest vote. I mean, you know how it is when you're in college. You're like, oh, down with the man, you know.
Right.
I just want to go against everything, you know, and he riles that up. And that's, in a way, that's good because it gets
Is that different than you were what, national chairman of young Republicans or college Republicans? Is this a different crowd? Because
correct.
The average age of the caucus goers in the Republican caucus in
80.
Iowa, it was D.D. Benkie. Wow. Actually, that number is 60. So the jail bait is 50. Right?
I'll be honest with you. I saw some video from last year's caucuses. I think the average age was dead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's
Well, yeah, you get it. So everyone's probably going to know a lot of those Ron Paul people coming in because, well, you know, they'll be coming from schools.
And they're going to be.
I don't know. I kind of think they're going to be able to keep them from getting the number one spot because they are concerned and they get that. And they, you know, they had so much change with the schedule with, you know, Florida just making everything crazy, you know, and so Iowa knows that, you know, they're kind of on the chopping block here. They could be. So that's very important to them. So I'm sure that there are a lot of discussions and trying to figure out, you know, where the votes are going to go. And I will tell you this, and I'm positive that the party apparatus is very tightly knit like it is in Indiana. It's very similar. So they're trying to figure it out right now. I mean, between Romney and Santorum and how they deal with the Paul bots. And, you know, they're not going to want him to get number one. It's very bad for Iowa. It's terrible for Iowa. In fact, if he wins, the biggest loser is absolutely Iowa. So I hope for my friends at the Iowa GOP, I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I just want to make sure